This wonderful music is Andre Rieu doing the love theme from Romeo and Juliet. Hello, and welcome to a brand new episode of Dylan Knows. It is 2020, and it's a brand new style, brand new year, brand new style of uh, talk radio. I've been told that in 2020 I was a little bit crazy, as it were, a little bit insane. Uh, little loud and angry, and I've been told that I should probably relax a little bit. Well, I am taking their advice, particularly yours, Gary, and we are going to be doing a brand new style of Dylan Knows, one with a lot less anger and violence and stuff like that. We're going to drink a little decadence here. Menage a trois, baby. Mm, beautiful bouquet. Wonderful. Got my mood lighting, my candlelight, my flamingo. And this is a brand new episode of Dylan Knows here. Try to calm stuff down here, trying to discuss the comments for 2021 through the end of 2020. We are in January 2021, and just want to welcome you all to 2021. And hopefully it'll be a bright, lovely, wonderful, non-hectic, angry year, a very happy, joyful, classical year with negativity in there. I need to drink some wine to chill myself out here. Anyway, this is episode 383, 2021 style, and obvious reasons. That's why the episode is called this. Going to try to calm it down here for the next hour and a half or so. Hopefully won't have any technical issues here. I got my candlelight, wine, women in song, and super gonorrhea is on the list this week as well. NASA, a lot of deaths to end the year as well. I had a dream. Sky turned purple, like purple rain. Actually, 1999, I should say. Excuse me, it wasn't Purple Rain, like 1999. Hopefully I can read most of this writing because I wrote this really quick today. That's one thing I need to do. REM's got a 25-year anniversary album coming out this week, some more Starbucks stuff. Reese's stuff. Valentine's Day is in the news, obviously, for the sexy, lovely time coming up in your 2021 life. Cheesecake is another thing as well. Japan. NBA first female NBA coach, some NFL news, a lot of death. It's a crazy amount of death that there is. In AI, what else do we have? Dune, Bamboo Towers, Andy's Creme de Menthe candies, Tumbler fries. Oh, I know what that is. I better fix that. Unicorns. Why not? Beautiful, light unicorn stuff. And COVID hits a bunch of people. Zombie gas. Man crashes into Target on Christmas Eve. And all kinds of wonderful, great stories here for 2021. Hopefully nothing that will make my blood boil and make me scream and yell like I've done the last few weeks here because of everything. Yet there is many things that I could scream and yell about that are upcoming in our world, but I'm going to take a step back and relax. So let's start with super gonorrhea, because why not? Super gonorrhea is spreading like wildfire thanks to COVID. I did not know there was such a thing as a super gonorrhea. I guess it's a much stronger version of gonorrhea. So if all you sexy ladies and men out there decide to have some sexual intercourse, you may as well wrap that sucker in plastic and just be very careful. Take it easy, take it good, don't take it too rough, and be safe. That's all we ask. Unless, no, you can take it rough if it's what you enjoy. But watch out for the super gonorrhea. Wrap that sucker up. NASA has sent spiders into outer space. Another lovely story we need to hear all about. This is still part of 2020, I believe. So NASA wants to see how spiders survive in zero gravity. Looks like they did just fine. They did not come back and grow to be 1,000,000 feet tall, but they did send them up there. I had a weird dream last night. I dreamt that I was doing my lovely, sexy, wonderful show, but I was in a big room, and my boss from work decided he wanted to be on the show. So he invited a whole mess of people, including people I'm related to, uh, distant, whose some of their beliefs I do not subscribe to, whatever you want to. Who else did I wrote down here? Uh, my wife's aunt was there as well. A girl I went in college with, Candace, was there, and there were a bunch of other people. I can't remember everyone's name out there. And we had Giant as the sponsor of the show, which, by the way, I do not have any sponsors for my show. I only have 6 viewers, so obviously that's going to be a no-go, but it's just a dream I had. And I started talking, and I was just looking around at all the people who were there and a lot of their belief systems and stuff like that, and thought that I believe it would be detrimental that I end my dream right there. So I went, nope, and I woke up. That's literally how it ended. So pretty wild, interesting way. That was last night into this morning. One of many celebrities have COVID. I'll see if I can find them all on my list here. The first one up is Larry King, has COVID-19. He has to be careful. He's really, really old and might affect him worse than other people, so he needs to be very careful. Dr. Drew test positive for COVID also. He was one of those people who declared that COVID was too bad, that it wasn't it exist. It was a sham, a fake. Well, he has it now, doesn't he? And he knows now it's fake. See, just kind of chill, relaxing on that. Let's see. What the? I don't know. I'll get to that later. Mick Foley, wrestler, has COVID-19 as well. I wouldn't wish COVID-19 on anybody, even people who do not believe in it, but that is someone else who has it. Chloe Bennett, who played Quake in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., she also has COVID-19 as well. So another just keeps building and building up. The New Orleans Saints, their entire running, well, Alvin Kamara, their star running back, he has COVID. Their entire running, well, Alvin Kamara, their star running back, he has COVID-19, and everyone in the running back room has been in contact with him. So he also, they all also have to stay out. So New Orleans Saints tomorrow's football game, Sunday's football game, does not have any wide receivers. So I have that around here somewhere, but trying to see if there's anybody else. I think there's at least one other person I can think of that has the COVID-19 that I was discussing, so I try to keep it together. But if I can't find it, it's not a big deal. I'll just come across it when I go later into the episode. I just kind of like to keep things all together. I know that I don't always enable to because of the way that I do this, but okay, so I don't say anything right here. So there's still a lot of people, and we wish them all well, and hopefully that they will recover quickly. It was like something out of a Prince song as the sky turned purple over Sweden on New Year's Eve, more along the lines due to a combination of sunset and aurora borealis thing. But it was quite a sight to see, and hopefully we're now the number 6 seed in the playoffs, but they need to win tomorrow against the Cincinnati Bengals to get in, or have the Browns or Colts lose. Speaking of those Baltimore Ravens and people who have COVID, Sam Cook, the Ravens punter. Yes. The Ravens punter Sam Cook, who has a the most games played as a Baltimore Raven in Ravens history, is going to have his streak cut short tomorrow. He will not be probably playing tomorrow. It's a streak of 139 straight games that he has played in. He started and played in. And this streak started way back in 2006, which was the year my daughter was born. So you can see how long ago that was. So he was playing when my daughter was born, but he was a rookie. So, but that's a streak of 239 games that is coming to an end tomorrow, which is a shame. But we need to look out for his safety, and hopefully he will be taken care of, and we will have him back in time for playoffs if and when we make the playoffs. A female cat takes her sick kitten to the animal clinic, and the doctors immediately know what to do. The fact that the cat knew that this building was full of people who would be there to help them, particularly their kitten, shows also a level of love that mothers, and that transcends species, that mothers love their children to the same extreme as always. Well, the only last two on this page right now are deaths, so I may as well hit all the deaths this week. The biggest death this week, well, the one that most people know about, I should say, not the biggest, because no deaths are bigger than another person's. But this person's death was, in the view of a pop culture, was a body blow to most people, as it were. Who played Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island, the classic 1960s sitcom that it might have been early 70s as well, that I watched as a kid when it was on syndication. Most time when I stayed home from school for being sick, I would turn on the TV after lunch, rest up when my parents came home, and I'd watch some Gilligan's Island. So I've seen most of those episodes. The whole big not controversy, but the conversation about who is sexier, Mary Ann or Ginger. Ginger was the sexy, gorgeous movie star played by Tina Louise, and Mary Ann was the sweet, kindly girl next door type, both hugely sexy. And the big debate went on is, who would you rather nail, Mary Ann or Ginger? And most people would say Mary Ann. I would probably say Mary Ann as well. Dawn Wells passed away this week. Floyd Little, Hall of Fame running back for the Denver Broncos, died of a rare form of cell cancer. He was 78 years old. He died this week as well. MF Doom, a rapper, died at the age of 49 this week. I'm woefully out of the loop here on rap music, so I think he's quite a big deal for those. Edwin Iristorva died. He was the award-winning Pan's Labyrinth, Hellboy, Blade 2, worked with Guillermo del Toro's visual FX producer. Died at the age of 52. Adfu Shabadu Quinones died at the age of 65. He was in Breaking and Breaking 2. I guess a rapper / breakdancer with that. New Jersey Principal Joe Clark, who the movie Lean on Me was based on in the 80s, was in his own because of his way of patrolling his schools with a baseball bat and going to extremes when necessary to break up the crime and turn crime-ridden, infested school to one where students were actually learning again and passing grades. And he died at the age of 82 this week as well. I don't know why this is even thing, and I don't even remember who this guy is. I guess it was one of those tabloid sort of stories, but apparently the Club Kid Killer, I guess he's I don't think he was a serial killer because he was not in prison at the time, but the Club Kid Killer Michael, not in prison at the time, but the Club Kid Killer Michael Ahi dies of a heroin overdose inside his Manhattan home on Christmas morning. So, he was a killer. So, I mean, again, can't revel in anyone's death, despite how terrible they are. But the fact is that he was a killer and took a human life. Marcus DeMarco, actor from Superman 2, Tales of the City, died at the age of 55. Congressman-elect Luke Litlow, who was a Trumper, believed COVID was not a big deal, did rallies without masks, was elected in this past election to a seat, died of COVID-19. I'm not going to say more about that because I promised I would not go off on a tangent this year to begin 2021. William Lennon, Columbo, Murder, She Wrote co-creator, died at the age of 87 this week as well. And Pierre Cardin, a fashion designer, died at the age of 98 this week. And that is all the ones. Tony Romo did not die, but he also has tested positive for COVID. He will not be doing any announcing for football tomorrow. I think they got Boomer Esiason is coming in. Sorry, I'm just fixing the stuff that I know what it is. All right. So rest in peace. Some of those died in 2020. Some of those died in 2021. Despite the fact that it doesn't matter, they all died, and the world is, it's their families, I should say, for the most part, are brokenhearted, I would assume. Still don't know about the Club Kid killer, but we'll go on about that. Another week. Another new Oreo flavor, Java chip Oreos. I think I might have mentioned that as well. It's going to be like a coffee flavored cream with Java chips in it. Will be in 2021. 2021 also will show the release of the complete JFK files, which means that all the files that they have on the assassination and the Bay of Pigs and the missile crisis and his affairs and everything else that's going on about that are going to be released this year sometime. Again, not that anything is going to be probably mind-blowing or the killer will be revealed, so on and so forth, but more information will be available. Mountain Dew Doritos are a thing. Mountain Dew seems to be the popular choice for chips and baking and stuff like that to use for a way to get people who like Mountain Dew to come and try other stuff as well. But there are Mountain Dew Doritos. So I can't even imagine what they would taste like. I don't know if Mountain Dew flavor mixed with potato chips, or I should say nacho chips, would be advisable. We'll see. Mountain Dew sort of a lemon lime sort of type of thing. And I think it'll probably just be like a sort of a lemon lime flavored Dorito, which they have out anyway, a flavor already out as well. White chocolate bunnies appear to be the big thing for this Easter. Yes, Easter candy is out and about already at Target, Giant, a few other places as well, which is good for my wife. She loves her jelly beans, Starkist jelly beans, not Starkist, Starburst jelly beans. So I've been able to get a number of bags of jelly beans for my wife. So we will have plenty once Easter comes around, and hopefully have plenty after Easter leaves and once the jelly beans leave also. My wife absolutely devours those, so that's great. But there are white chocolate bunnies, as I said, seem to be the key thing this year. There's a white chocolate bunny that's going to be filled with Fruity Pebbles, which is also another big thing. So there's going to be Fruity Pebbles coffee creamer coming soon. And where's the other one? I know there's another white chocolate bunny that's filled with something else. White chocolate bunny filled with Oh, Sour Patch Kids. Okay, Sour Patch Kids is also going to be coming out also. So you're going to have a white chocolate bunny filled with Fruity Pebbles and a white chocolate bunny filled with Sour Patch Kids, both coming out this Easter. For fans of crazy sci-fi-esque movies, even though sci-fi doesn't do them anymore, look out for Sharks of the Corn. Might be something that might roll through when Shark Week comes back onto Sci-Fi back in August, but it's probably a take on Children of the Corn. But in the end, it doesn't make any sense because there's no water, so how can sharks survive in corn? But I'm sure the whole thing will be answered in that Biebery. There's also, I think I talked about this last week, but I'm going to mention it again. White chocolate seems to be a big thing also. Snickers White is coming back. It is a Snickers bar made with white chocolate, so it'll have everything else with it. Nougat, caramel, and peanuts will all be in the Snickers White, but instead of milk chocolate, it will be white chocolate. Spider-Man, as for those who know it, Spider-Man was my first comic book. Was the comic book my dad collected when he was younger and gave me his collection when I came around. And I still have it in these multiple boxes somewhere around here down the basement. But he is my favorite kind of superhero since he was my first one. Well, beginning of this year, or in the next couple, actually, I think it's going to be in March-ish, April-ish, Spider-Man will be receiving a new costume. This one is a gray and black colored one. Seems to have a lot more technical stuff like that. Is obviously going to be a byproduct of the storyline that is currently going on in there right now called Last Remains. The costume looks absolutely garish, and I do not like how it looks. And so we will see what happens. I am, anyway, contemplating reducing my comic book load multiple times because there's a lot of stuff coming that, to be honest, I haven't been reading. So there really is no reason for me to pick these stuff up and start them over, no matter how much I may want to. A elephant mug now has a place to put your tea bag. Basically, it's a mug that looks like an elephant, and then there's like a little, it has the head, and then between the head and the belly, which is the mug, you can slide your used tea bag in there instead of just having to wait and walk it out or whatever. You can put it in there till you're done, and you can throw it out when you are done with your tea. So for those who like their tea and their elephants, there you go. Where is that one? I just saw it. Christmas has come and gone. And it's always interesting to see when Christmas rolls around what songs from Christmas past make their way to the Billboard Top 100, people downloading it or whatever that they used to do, buying copies of it for the season or whatever. It's been a lot of Mariah Carey. The present new anthem of Christmas, though I do not particularly like the song. But again, we're not talking about that stuff right now. This is a calm, chill Dylan Knows 2021 style. Instead, and it's been number one for a long time. It's actually number one after Thanksgiving. But for the first time in, I think, almost since 2006 also, since when Sam Cooke started playing, Wham's Last Christmas has hit number one for the first time. Wham's Last Christmas never hit number one when it originally came out in the 80s. George Michael's, I think, last number one hit was in 2006. That's what I meant to say. I should have said. But Last Christmas, which is slowly becoming a new anthem for people nowadays for Christmas, became number one this year. It might have had a lot to do with there had been the Little Drummer Boy challenge where you're supposed to avoid the song Little Drummer Boy all year long, all Christmas season, and if you do, you can brag about it or whatever. Well, they tried to do something, I think, in reverse, because there are now a number of remakes of Last Christmas. And I think they want you to seek out the actual Last Christmas and not the remakes that are out and about, because the remakes seem to be overwhelming the original one when you listen to it on radio and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the reasons why the song came back to be number one. And hey, I can keep talking about Christmas for forever because I love Christmas, and it's a shame. It's getting harder and harder to realize that, you know what, it's January 2nd. Christmas was over a week ago. It's been 8 days since last Christmas, and we still have our lights up, and I still like having the lights up and stuff like that. The presents are still on the tree. We had our last Christmas with my mom today. We had a Christmas with my wife's in-laws yesterday. My dad and stepmom came down on Tuesday, so we've been having these lovely Christmases. So we are at the end of it because Christmas break is also up. Tomorrow is the last day of Christmas break. The kids haven't been in school since December 23rd. I luckily got New Year's Eve off, but I've been working for a while, so it's not that big of a deal for me. But it's still kind of sad to see Christmas come to an end. And also sad to see when the No Fun League, I talked about Alvin Kamara, running back for the Saints. Well, they played on Christmas Day, and he wore red and green cleats that I think he ended up selling. The NFL fined him for wearing improper cleats, which is a bunch of bullshit, if you ask me. But again, not going to get myself upset. I'm just going to reveal the news as it is told to me, and I shall spit it out to you. What else is a Christmas one? That's right. I know what that one is. Okay, that's not Christmassy. Let's see. Is there a Christmas or New Year stuff? I'll talk about New Year stuff in a second. Let's see. Is there any other Christmas stuff in here? Nope, I don't see anything other Christmas related here. So let's talk a little bit of New Year's. Champagne at one time was an energy drink. Back in the old days, people used to believe that champagne had a good comparison would be like a Monster sort of quality to it, considering, a lot of these energy drink nowadays. Now, in a sense, maybe they believe carbonation has something to do with the rising energy, the nitrogen in the bubbles, whatever might help you move on. But that is definitely an interesting story. Bad Boys for Life became the highest grossing film in 2020. It came out in January. So, of course, we didn't really have a big sample size since movie theaters have been closed basically since March. And there have been some that have been popped up periodically to be opened here and there. It's nothing as extreme. Bad Boys Forever came out in January and was a huge hit back when movie theaters were all open and stuff like that. So it has maintained its lead and has become like that. Opening warm champagne bottles causes a pip of blue. I don't know if it's the gas or whatever, but if you pop open a warm bottle of champagne, you will see a spark of blue underneath it. So that is pretty cool. That's all Starbucks stuff. Now that the new year has happened, we now have new items that are now in the public domain, are out of copyright. Everything, movies and books and stuff like that done in 1925 and older are now in the public record. That includes The Great Gatsby and many numerous old-fashioned horror films. So if you wanted to, you can get to work on that Great Gatsby sequel or Great Gatsby remake with Muppets or Legos or whatever, and you will not have to pay a fee. I could recite The Great Gatsby on this show and not get charged with a fee for that because it is now in the public domain. There's a whole bunch of other ones. There's just type in 2021 public domain list. It'll give you a list of everything and those are the big ones right now. I think George Orwell also has a couple of stories, maybe not 1984, but has a couple of books that are now in the public domain as well, which just basically means that you do not have to pay for the rights to use it, or you should give credit to it, but you don't really have to. Starbucks news, pina colada frappuccinos is on the secret menu at Starbucks. So if you want a pina colada flavored frappuccino, just ask for it at Starbucks. It's on their secret menu. Starbucks is also releasing their uh, color changing cups for Valentine's Day, which is kind of an interesting take on things. So it's kind of a neat to see that. All right, that's okay. I know what all that is. Okay. Just see if there's any more Starbucks on this page. No. Burger King debuts its new ice cream sundae with chocolate syrup and French fries added to it. So now you can dip your French fries into, well, your French fries are already in your sundae, and now you don't have to worry about dipping it in there as well. I'll probably talk about this a little bit more when it gets closer to the time that it came out, but my favorite band, REM, of all time, they've been around since the early 80s. Well, their album, New Adventures in Hi-Fi, the last album that was done with all 4 original members of REM,